What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss last Saturday's Matuesz Gamrot versus Quillan Salkilld card from top to bottom. And guys, we have had a new star arrive to the UFC, right? But guys, before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Help the channel grow. All right, guys. Quillan Salkilld shocks the world in a fight where everybody expected to be the biggest test of his career against the number 5 Matuesz Gamrot, a guy who had really only been finished by Charles Oliveira, who has been, a consummate veteran in the lightweight division for quite some time now, has fought the who's who, everyone, and when he has lost, it's either been close decisions or the one stoppage by Charles Oliveira. So for Quillan to actually come out here, as a guy who kind of just burst onto the scene, 12 months ago, right? We are now seeing this kid, he just starched him, beat him in every facade of the game, dropped him, out-wrestled him, and then ended up submitting him in the very first round. Beat him in every way that you can within 5 minutes. Absolutely spectacular. So we have a star that has arrived within the UFC that, in an already deep division, which leaves the question, right? Like, what's next for Salkilld? Because he's passed every test in a different way. He had kicked Nasrat Haqparast, right? He had that fight with Jamie Malarkey. Who was the last fight that he had? He knocked out Beneil Dariush after getting dropped, right? But we haven't really seen like these wars with him. He just kind of goes out there and just runs through motherfuckers, right? So that's just kind of what we're seeing with him. And now he just beat the number 5 guy, right? So I'm kind of reiterating here. But what I want to see next, you have Paddy Pimblett. You have Benoit Saint-Denis. There's all these little things that you can do. All these different matchups that you can have for this guy at 155 pounds. And he just passed a massive test. And he has the charisma. He has the fight skill. We have a star. We have a fucking star. And as for Gamrot, right? Went out there, looked confident until he got punched in the face. And that's always the case, right? All these guys, they look confident until they finally get hit in the face. But here, I'm really just leaving the question, like, what's next, right? Because he's got to be in his mid-30s now, right? He's got to be, 35 years old now? Yeah, he's 35 years old. So, the path back to a belt, not back to a belt, but to the belt in general, it's just gone back down. Yes, and he's always one win away from being back into a title picture with his resume, but it really leaves the question, what's next for him? And I really don't know, and I don't really know if we're ever going to see a title conversation with Gamrot ever again. Maybe we've seen the end of the prime. Maybe we've seen the chin get checked here. Not really sure. But with this, obviously take some time off. Next up, Carlos Diego Ferreira, right, versus Billy Quarantillo. That was a fight where I thought Diego definitely would fade as the fight went on, but where was the defense from Billy Q? He went out there, he does have that typical volume fashion, walks forward, he is willing to take a shot, but that was like the first time, in a while where he was just taking unnecessary damage. It wasn't even really trying to really utilize any head movement or defense within the fight. And that was just kind of it was unfortunate because it was a big opportunity for him to show that he's still here. And against a guy like Carlos Diego Ferreira, who's already in his 40s, that was a test that he needed to pass to really, show that he's still at what I consider UFC caliber, because I really didn't even really consider Carlos Diego Ferreira to be UFC caliber at this point either. He's definitely like a veteran. He's dangerous in every way, but in this fight it shows if he goes after anybody who's, up and coming in their prime, it's going to be, it just showed to me, I think, in this co-main event, neither guy, I really think, are at UFC level anymore. It was a great fight. It was fight of the night. But at the end of the day, like, the talent level didn't represent, like, a co-main event, in my opinion. But it was fight of the night. It made sense. It was a good fight, but both of these guys, I think, you put them on any pay-per-view, it's opening up the prelims, basically. Damn, I feel like I'm shitting on them right now, but I'm just trying to be honest. Yeah, I don't see. It's one of those fights. I feel like both fighters should get cut. Next up, Yadier Del Val. knocks out Darren Elkins, an Elkins retirement fight, where it seemed like a sacrificial lamb moment, where, like it didn't really seem like Elkins really had much of a chance at all. But he always it's his style that kind of keeps him alive in the fights. But in this one, he just got fucking annihilated immediately. And it was kind of like what everybody kind of thought too. Like, I mean, just the size difference, the striking pedigree that Yadier has. And he was able to go out there and just put Darren Elkins away as he should have. So he passed a major test against a legend in Darren the Damage Elkins. And as for retirement, right, that's just kind of how it goes in the fight life, right? Father Time always wins. Fighters, 9 out of 10 times don't walk away with a win. They always usually walk face down, ass up, right? It's usually how it goes. Knocked out, embarrassed, dazed, choked out. It's usually how it goes. So, the fight game, it's cruel and unforgiving, and so are the fight gods. But for Darren Elkins, thank you for everything you've given us over the years. It's been a pleasure watching you fight. I've been watching you fight for, about 10 years now, and it's just been an absolute pleasure every single time that you've gone out there. Next up, Alexia Tainara versus Amanda Lemos. I mean, what are you going to do? I think Alexia, she's good. She has a pop in her in her strikes, but I think when it comes to these top chicks, Alexa Grasso, Macy Barber, Erin Blanchfield, Natalia Silva, I don't think she's going to really get past any of those, but she went out there and got past a former title challenger in Amanda Lemos, but she just herself hasn't looked herself recently. So the fight, it was a win. It was almost a dominating win. She did get, checked at one point in the fight, but I don't know. I'm not sold on Alexia yet. She's got a great record. She's got the flashy style. She's got the look, but at the end of the day, it's all about the talent. And I'm not sure if she's going to be able to break through the top 5 of the women in that division. And as for Amanda Lemos, right, 37, 38 years old, she's kind of at a point in her career where it's the twilight. She's in the winter she's in the winter season of her career, and we kind of saw the very, at least beginning or the middle of that here this past Saturday. Next up, Ty Miller goes out there and did exactly what he was supposed to do against Billy Ray Goff, and just tall, long, lanky, explosive, uses his length very well, creative with his shots, mixed it up very well. And as the fight went on, Billy Ray just had no fucking answer, right? You could not do anything. And I think it was in between rounds 2 and 3, his corner was basically telling him to run. They were telling him, just please survive, do whatever you can to not fight, because they had no answers for him because he couldn't do anything. Ty Miller was just, he was on fire. He was in flow state, right? Like he could not miss. And this kid, man, he is a physical specimen. I'm excited to watch him in the future. Welterweight division's getting spicy. They got some tall, long, and lanky guys in the division. And I think Ty Miller's going to fit in really well. I think he's going to grow really well. And I'm curious what we're going to have. I forgot who he called out. I don't remember who he called out. But I liked it. I remember I liked it. But it's a very interesting guy that we have going into the 170-pound division. And as for Billy Ray Goff, right, I think he's probably going to end up getting caught after this fight. It's 4 in a row, 3 in a row. Not saying that he's a bad fighter. It's just not UFC caliber. He's somebody who can probably go out there, PFL, UAE, 1FC, rise and probably put on some pretty good fights. It's just, I think at UFC level, he's just really not there right now, right? Ultimate tough guy, right? But skill-wise, it's just not there. Next up, Steven Asplund, right, went out there and defeated, what's his name? Guilherme Pat, right? In a fight where, I mean, he was the favorite. Everybody thought that he would get the win via stoppage, but he got the 29-28 victory. In that heavyweight, when you're a dog, when you lack the head movement, you kind of just go forward. He does go for the finish. He has that killer instinct, but sometimes at heavyweight, when you don't get that early stoppage, you kind of get that lull, that back and forth lull, sloppy strikes, right? The fight did get very sloppy, but at the end of the day, both guys, they really kind of had to dig in their heels and got into a dirty matchup. But good for Steven Asplund in this fight, to get a win after the loss that he had. I think it was Vitor Petrino, I think that he fought, if I'm not mistaken. So it's something he needed to keep himself moving forward, but really, adds the question, especially in such a weak division, how far can he take it? I'm curious, because he has the heart. Grit, heart, will, determination, all those things that we talk about on this channel, he has all those things. I'm just curious how far he's going to be able to take it in the heavyweight division, because it is a weak division. Why not Derek Lewis? That could be a really good fight. Next up, Dier Nurgazai knocked out Bruno Lopez in a fight where, I mean, man, Bruno's good. I like him. He's fun. He moves forward. He has an explosive. He has killer instinct. You know, he good striking, good power. And then DR just was just like, bro, like, I'm going to show you technique. I'm going to show you an athleticism that you don't have, a precision that he didn't have. And he was just, I mean, just landing straighter shots, more flush shots, explosive. And every time he hit Bruno, it was just hurting him more. And he was just, you know, the footwork too, he was just finding himself in the right spot to land the right shots. And he was able to get it, what was it, right at the end of the first round, right? Yeah. I thought it was the second. But it was right at the end of the very first round. I was able to put him away, and it was a nasty knockout. It was a nasty one. And, you know, kind of takes away the hype of Bruno Lopez, who was, you know, was a guy who was, you know, starting to make a little bit of a name for himself. But now DR comes out and just kind of takes that hype away. It's interesting. Jose Montana submitted Louis Sutherland. That was a fight I did not watch. I'm not high on Louis Sutherland regardless. I was kind of shocked that he was the favorite on paper anyways. I mean, yeah, he got the win over Tai Tuivasa, but as of late, who doesn't have a win over Tai Tuivasa? So that for me, across the board, I'm like, if Louis Sutherland's a favorite in a fight right now, why am I going to watch it? And then he ends up getting subbed anyways, right? Face crank. Like, who gives a shit, right? Next up, Manuel Souza defeated Richie, what was his name? Miranda. I was going to say Montana again. We had all the hype with Sosa, right? Because he's the only guy to knock out Hoofy. And big, strong. He has good strikes, right? I mean, when he lands with ill intent. When he throws with ill intent. But at the end of the day, 0 fight IQ. And at 14, 15, and 1, he still won the fight with 0 fight IQ. That's how much of the natural raw ability that this guy has. But I mean, he was throwing shots in the direction that he was moving away. Like, he was not meeting his opponent, wasn't cutting off his opponent, wasn't throwing where the guy was, you know, as he's moving to the left, you want to be throwing with the right side, right? Like, he wasn't doing that. He was chasing and just making bad decisions and just letting the fight get away and just over aggressive. And it just all around, in victory, he looked like shit. And in defeat, I thought Miranda looked decent. He looked good. Great heart, will, determination. He wanted to be there. But he just didn't have the skill to match the physical attributes to match Emmanuel Sosa. But I don't see him going very far at all unless he starts really rounding out his game. The talent's there. Raw, power, gritty. But yeah, I don't think it's going to go very far with him. Next up, Miles Johns gets back into the win column. I think it was a short notice fight. You know, it was against Gianni Vasquez. And, you know, and like right before he found the finish in this fight, it looked like he got dropped. He moved back, and Gianni, like, moved forward and hesitated. He didn't capitalize. And, like, it appeared to me that Johns was hurt in that moment, right? It could have been a slip, but it appeared to me in that moment. And when you have your guy hurt, right, and his back's against the wall, you pull that fucking trigger. You pull that fucking trigger. That's what we're here for. When you hesitate is when you lose. That's when you get chinned. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. Miles went out there and hit that left hook, put him out, and got the dub. Short notice dub. Very fucking impressive. So, I mean, to get back in the win column for a guy who's, you know, a lot of ups and downs throughout his career, dangerous guy in a different weight class, was impressive, you know, and good for him. As for Gianni, buddy, believe in yourself. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. She had him. At least it looked like you did. I wasn't in there, obviously, but you had him. Next up, Juliana Miller, man. I mean, gets the submission victory over Ravina Oliveira. I think that's 4 in a row for Oliveira, right? So, I mean, the talent level wasn't really there. But Juliana went out there and did exactly what she was supposed to do, right? Was, I mean, strong, explosive, forward pressure. She looked like she was in great shape, which is something I've been critical over with her specifically on her focus, and I think that's why she was losing fights for some time. She was about to lose a job. With these last 2-3 fights, we've seen the old Juliana Miller who won the Ultimate Fighter. We've seen that come back, that dog, right? Someone who seems focused again. And got a decisive submission victory in a fight that she should have, right? She did exactly what she was supposed to do. Passed her test with flying colors. And I think next up with her, do the same thing. I think that she needs to go out there, get 2 or 3 more wins just like this. And you see, keep the focus. Keep the focus. Show that you can keep that focus. You can get pushed. I think another year, stay active. You can be ranked. Especially with this new ranking system. All right, guys, last but not least, right? Carol Foro got the decision victory over Giovanna. What was her name? Canuto. I'm sorry, guys. And, I mean, what a fight to open up the card, right? Back and forth. I mean, 4-0 in the first round, almost got the finish. She was dominating on the feet. And then her opponent in the second round was able to get the fight to the ground and dominated, almost got the submission. Third round, it was back and forth, but then, 4-0 was just able to edge the fight on the feet and was just able to keep that going. And to start a fight, low level, on the prelims, start a card like that, those girls, they showed out. And in defeat, I think Canuto looked amazing. She showed great heart, will, determination, right? And then as for 4-0, I mean, great striking. She looked great. Corner was annoying as hell. They wouldn't shut the fuck up. But she looked great. Great striking. Her submission defense, great heart, will, determination, right? We're talking about that all day today. She looked fantastic in victory, right? I mean, she showed that she did, even when it wasn't looking good, when she got caught in bad situations, she found her way out of it, and it looked bad. That armbar was in, it was deep, and the fact that she found that was awesome. But yeah, guys, what a card. It was fun. In the middle, there's, some sus fighters up in there, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was a pretty good fight night card. I thought that the Apex, the new look that they've brought into the Apex, I thought it brought some energy. I liked the look, more fans, there was some volume going on in there. Can respect that. So if you're going to be at the Apex, I like that they're at least doing some upgrades. You got to give the UFC some love when they deserve it, because we're always criticizing them when they're fucking shit in the bed, right? But great fight night. Salkild's a star. Gamrot's got some. He's got some thinking to do for his career, and I think same thing for both guys in the co-main event. Anyways, that's going to do it for today. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on everything. Don't forget to talk about it in the comments section. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That's going to do it for today, guys. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.